What's up, beautiful people? It's Ryan here from Leveling Up at Life, here to talk about our house down payment. As some of you may have picked up in our previous videos, we had a savings goal for a house down payment in our budget for a couple of months now. So far, we just started this fund in 2020 and we're making pretty good progress towards it. However, when we're looking back at this savings goal, we realized we had a lot of assumptions that were incorrect, and we just want to correct those going forward to make sure that we're doing the right thing for our personal finances, making sure we're hitting that goal, and getting where we need to be in the right period of time. It's also a factor of the major changes that have been happening so far this year. If you're interested in some of those changes, you can go ahead and check out our last video, which is our financial update, and I go into a little bit more details about some of the bigger things that are going on in our life right now. With that said, let's talk about our previous savings goal, our current saving goal, and why we changed it. So our previous savings goal for a house down payment was $36,000. And we based that on some idealistic plans of what we want whenever purchasing a home. The first thing we based it on was trying to get 20% down payment on any home that we go for. Putting 20% down will allow us to avoid PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. And essentially, it's just insurance for the bank that you pay if you default on the loan. So this is 100% separate from homeowners insurance or any other type of insurance that would protect me. It is an insurance that the bank requires me to purchase for them in the event that I can't make my payment for whatever reason. The next major factor was getting a reasonable sized loan. So if you're paying attention, $36,000 would be 20% towards a $180,000 mortgage. At the time, we were considering this to be a reasonable sized mortgage that we can get paid down within a reasonable amount of time, somewhere in the range of 7 to 10 years. And we thought this could be a really good starter home. It would definitely be a fixer-upper, and we could buy it in the wedge, things of that nature. So it would be getting a really basic house. We also based our mortgage payment off what we're currently paying towards rent and other major factors towards the house to try and keep our budget similar to what it is right now. So here in 2020, over in July, halfway through the year, we decided to change our savings goal from $36,000 to $26,000. The first thing we recognize is the homes in the areas we're looking at are significantly more expensive than $108,000. Even if you were to find a really good deal in these areas, you'd still be in the range of $200,000 at a minimum. So we decided we wanted to increase our home purchase amount, our home purchase budget, in order to hit some of the houses in ranges that are better for us in better locations. And they're still fixer-uppers, so the home value can increase significantly over a period of time with a little bit of work. With that increase in the home price, we won't be able to save 20% in order to avoid PMI on our first house. But we can still get into a mortgage with something like 5 to 10% down. Some mortgage lenders will let you go lower, but with the newer, stricter requirements that mortgages are having nowadays, we're expecting to put somewhere between 5 and 10% down on our first house. Another assumption that I had whenever having the mortgage discussion was that we would have our rent payments be similar or close to our mortgage payment. While this is something that most people would strive towards, our rent payment was based off of my income when I was a single guy living down in Houston by myself. But as far as how much we can afford in a mortgage based off the lender's requirements, we can afford 2 to 3 times this amount, but we're still looking to be conservative about the amount of money that we're looking to take out for this loan. So we're gonna be releasing that restriction that the mortgage needs to be somewhere around our current rent in order to be reasonable, because it's not realistic. And it's not realistic in the sense that it's not something that we could do. It's not realistic in the sense that it doesn't need to be that tight, and I need to stop being such a tightwad. The other major factor that went into this goal is that a larger down payment on a house doesn't really decrease the monthly payment by that much. You have to get large chunks of money together in order to decrease your actual mortgage payment. So saving for 17% or 15% instead of 10% doesn't really change the amount that we would be paying monthly for the mortgage. So it doesn't really make a difference unless we're going to be avoiding some of those additional fees or insurances like PMI, or we're able to get better rates because of that. The last factor is some of the other savings goals that we have for this year do need to be addressed in reasonable time as well. With the other considerations, again, you can go check out that video. We need to make sure we have enough time to do all the other things we'd like to do in this year and make sure that we're hitting those other savings goals as well. Being able to focus on a very specific goal that's time bound to something like a year allows us the freedom to say, all right, so once we're done with this goal, we can move on to the next goal and the next goal, and we can start hitting those in the right order. Right now, we're planning to have this money set aside for the down payment in August of 2021. In between now and then, we'll start reaching out to mortgage lenders and real estate agents to get a gauge of what the market looks like in the areas we're looking at, and to learn more about the fees, the requirements in these spaces to make sure that we have all of our paperwork together. Once we hit that savings goal, we'll be moving our focus towards other investments as well as other savings goals for the year. One thing that was a huge discussion between both of us is that we don't want this saving for a house to become saving for a car or saving for some other large purchase, and avoiding investments while we're doing that. So we're making sure that this saving for a house ends up being the last thing that we avoid doing investments for. Right now, we're not contributing everything we'd like to towards retirement, and we'd like to bump that up even higher so that we can hit our savings goal at the right period of time. Like I said, we just don't want to fall into the trap of saving for thing after thing and not investing along the way and losing out on this beautiful youth that allows us to invest with a lot of compound interest. The house is going to be the last big barrier that's going to stop us from investing, and after that, any other excuses will not be to the level of let's pause our investments. So what do you think about our plan? Are you guys saving for a house? Are you in a house? Can you give me some more information about what it takes to get a house? Because I'm looking into that right now, and I'd love to hear your comments down below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like to get all the updates about our fitness, finance, and family-centered goals. I've been Ryan. You've been awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.